Who did you learn that has the most power behind closed doors that everybody fears, that no one knows about?
There were three of them. They were essentially the president behind the scenes, and Biden was just the facade.
Like, what could they do?
They could do anything.
What's anything?
Run the world.
You know what I wanted to know about this podcast here, this sit down with Lindy Lee? I mean, she's been all over the place. I wanted to find out how all these people were behind closed doors and who really had the power. She gave three names of the most powerful people under Biden's administration. She broke down the relationship between Joe Biden and Kamala. Unbelievable. She spent time around Kamala, Hillary, every one of them, Obama, Clooney. We covered so many different things and how the whole thing came about. I said, what happened behind closed doors when the President Trump had the assassination attempt? What was the reaction like on the DNC side? What did people say? Were some people celebrating? A lot was covered. You'll be blown away by this sit down with her. And I asked right off the bat the question a lot of people want to know. Is she straight up? Is she real? Is she that? Is she this? And right in the first 2 minutes, you're going to hear that question being asked. And for some of you, whether you agree with her or you don't agree with her, guess what? She's also on Minect. So you can go to Minect. QR code is probably going to be right here. Ask her any questions you got as well on Minect. Enjoy this interview with Lindy Lee. Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever saw. It's right here.
You are a one-of-one?
My son's right.
I don't think I've ever said this before.
Okay, so we got a special guest here today. Let me tell you who we have. We have Lindy Lee. If you watch television after election, you will recognize the face because she was all over the place. I think the first time I saw it was on a Chris Cuomo. When Chris Cuomo had her on, it's like, hey, here's what's going on. Democratic donor. Turns, flips, all this stuff. And next thing you know, she's all over the place on the conservative outlets. Everybody's putting her on. She's coming back and forth telling stories, different podcasts, different shows. And then we've been talking. Eventually, we said, let's sit down and have a conversation together. To give the exact title was Mid-Atlantic Regional Chair at the DNC, and now a conservative. And she's got a lot of enemies. And I got some questions I want to ask her, and she's straight up open to any questions. So having said that, it's great to have you on a podcast.
Pat, it's so good to be here.
Yes.
Honestly, you are a superstar.
Thank you. How are you handling all these shots you're taking? People are coming after you left and right.
It's actually, I was just texting somebody in the middle of the night a few hours ago, and I'm saying something, after my Sean Ryan interview, something cracked. I'm no longer the same person I was before that interview. Mm-hmm. The amount of hate and the amount of venom in that hate has altered me, I think. Hopefully not permanently, but there's just something just snapped. It's just, and what did I do? Let's think about what actually happened. I told the truth, right? That's really what happened. And on the right, there are people who are pissed off that I jumped the line, so to speak, that I'm getting media attention. On the left, they're so angry that I told the truth because they don't want to be held accountable for the billions that they set on fire. They don't want to be held accountable for the conspiracy around Biden's cognitive decline.
So in the last week, I'll just tell you in the last week what happened. When I'm doing an interview, I'll ask peers, what do you think?